Hello, everyone. I hope that you can see me and hear me well. We will start just in a moment. Just let's wait a few more seconds for the rest of you to join us. I see that still there are some attendants joining us. Okay, I think we can start now. Hello everyone, I'm Sylvia Kempa. I'm a product manager at XPlus, and I'd like to welcome you to this Q&A session about sensitive data anonymization in Microsoft Dynamics. And during this session, we would like to introduce you to our solution that addresses the most common data anonymization business problems in Microsoft Dynamics. And what I'm talking about, what the solution is actually our data protection suite. Okay, but first, let me briefly introduce you the people who will be talking to you today. Of course, aside from myself, there is Bartłomiej Lelek, our consultant who specializes in data protection suite. There's also Adam Tarkowski, our architect who knows all the technical aspects of our suite and is here to answer your technical questions if you have any. And okay, so the agenda for today, the agenda of today's meeting is the following. First, I will briefly tell you about data protection suite. Then Bartek will show you a short demo using some interesting use cases that we've prepared especially for today for you. And finally, there will be time for our Q&A. And so please feel free to ask questions throughout this meeting, but we will answer them all during the final part. In this session, you have the special spot for Q&A, so please use it. Please write your questions there. Okay, I think that we can start with the really interesting stuff. So let me first tell you what our data protection suite is actually all about. Well, the idea to create the suite was born when the European Union introduced GDPR. And well, you know most likely what this is. It is the regulation that obliges companies to implement certain data protection and privacy solutions. And we've noticed that what Microsoft offered did not meet some crucial requirements related to data anonymization. Anonymization is a difficult word, believe me. And so we've decided to create a supplement, a tool that would offer something more. And what we've achieved is not only compliant with GDPR, it is also compliant with data protection requirements from United States, from Australia, and all other regions in the world that require data anonymization. And you may wonder how we've achieved that. Well, we studied GDPR in detail and tried to address all those requirements specified there, which were related to data protection. And then, together with our customers, we verified that our solution actually meets those requirements. Okay, and well, additionally, I think it's worth noting at this point that, of course, our solution is Microsoft certified. You can find it on AppSource. You can check it later. Okay, so to go into more detail, our data protection suite actually offers two separate tools which enable data anonymization in Microsoft Dynamics AX and, well, its successor, Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations. And the first tool is for personal data anonymization, and it is especially useful in cases when a customer contacts a company requesting to use his or her right to be forgotten. So the tool identifies sensitive information concerning a specific individual or individuals in Dynamics, and then the tool encrypts selected data in accordance with some business requirements that you specify, that you need to implement, of course. And what's more, the tool also offers a pseudonymization feature. It means that the data would be accessible only in a restricted manner for a specified period of time. And once this time is up, the pseudonymized, another difficult word, data becomes anonymized. And well, what I believe is the biggest advantage that this tool has is that you can configure anonymization in the system fast, easily, and with no need of developers involvement. Yeah, so that's briefly about the first tool. Now, moving on to the second one. Of course, later on we will show you how to use it, what it offers. Now, it's time just for a brief introduction. Now, moving on to the second tool, it is for database anonymization. And well, here's a fun fact, actually. Did you know that, well, while many companies are indeed aware of the need to, handle production data in a certain way, some of them tend to forget sometimes that they also need to treat data on test and development environments with the same care. And regardless whether you have your own IT department or you outsource those services, the need to protect sensitive data remains the same. And our tool was created with this problem in our mind. And it may be used to anonymize databases, which may be used by testers, developers, etc., for all those non-production purposes. Okay, I think that's it when it comes to introduction. At the beginning, I promised it would be brief, so I think I managed that. I also hope that I managed to spark some curiosity here. And well, if you'd like to try out our tools yourselves, you can sign up for a free trial. The link to the sign up form will be available in the chat. Later on, I will put it there so you can use it and sign up. The trial is 2 weeks long. And of course, we will offer full support to show you the ropes. So if you're interested, please sign up. And also, please remember that you can ask questions at any time, and we will answer them during the last part of our session. Okay, I think that now we can move on to show you what our tools are actually all about. Bartek will now present you some use cases and how our tool addresses them. Bartek, the stage is yours.
Okay, all right. So thank you for a nice introduction, Sylvia. I hope you can still see my screen. So we'll just start from personal anonymization. So from the tool which is dedicated to production environment. And as Sylvia already mentioned, we'll start from a use case when a customer is calling us and he would like to use his right to be forgotten. So let me just briefly explain you the details in Dynamics. So here is our landing page for personal anonymization. And we already created our search configuration. So now we'll just create anonymization request. So we'll just click on the tile creation. We'll search for our specific search configuration. So in this case, we'll just use right to be forgotten. And our customer is calling us. And for instance, we are searching that customers based on his customer number. So we'll just search only for one customer in this case. And once we'll click search, our engine starts. So we will be able to see the results soon. Let me just open search results. And as you can see, we're just searching for only one customer. That's the customer number. And we can expand some more details. And now we can see that we have some more lines, which are actually from another tables, which are linked to our customer table. And once we'll just scroll down, we'll be able to see, for instance, the name of this customer. Here's the name. And here we've got information that this specific record will be anonymized. And the same goes for some communication details. So for instance, we have a phone number. And as you can see, here's the phone number. And additional fields related to email address. So that's our email address. And also, let me just gonna show you how it looks in database. So we are in accounts receivable under all customers. Here is our customer with a particular phone number. And now we'll just approve this anonymization request. As you can see here, approve. So let me just approve it. And now we'll be able to generate anonymization values. So once we just generate anonymization values, the original values will be replaced to some randomly created records. And now the anonymization values have been generated. And if we will just, sorry, refresh our data here, you can see that we cannot see the original value anymore. This, sorry, Chris Butt name and also the previously created telephone number, but we can see the randomly created string of the digits. So here is actually how it works when it comes to our first scenario. And of course, you can search customer based on last name, first name, telephone number, or any other field. It's just based on your requirements. You can easily adjust it. Okay, and then when it comes to second scenario, we have a case when we would like to anonymize invoices which are older than 5 years, and for those within the 5 years, those invoices will be pseudonymized. And I will also explain you the details when it comes to our configuration. Let me just come back to the landing page. And here under search configuration, I'm just going to show you how the entire configuration looks like. So here is our scenario. We just used only 2 tables. So the CAS table, which is the main table, which is storing the information about the customers. And underneath, we have relation with CAS trans. So the table, which is actually containing the information about customer transactions. And on the lines, we just put our conditions. So if we'll take a look at the CAS trans table, you can see that, for instance, on the filter, we just put some information that we would like to search only some specific transaction type, which is about customer invoices. And when it comes to transaction dates, about the date and time condition, we have also some kind of comparison that based on a transaction date field, we are just comparing values. So here we just put manually our value. And now when we'll just start to search our process, we should be able to see all the transactions which are belonging to the customers. So let me just run search test. Okay, and once we'll open search results, you can see that 5 records have been found. Those customers have been found in our database. And once when we expand it, we'll see more details. So these actually highlighted by red, it means that they've been already anonymized by some additional search configuration. But I was just going to show you the details in the database. So when we'll just take a look at the first row, here we have information about the voucher number and also our amount. And here we have information that those records will be anonymized. And if we will take a look also at our customers, just to show you the details. So here is our customer, and here's the list of the transactions. So we are just focusing only on the free text invoices. And for instance, as you can see here, we have free text invoice, which was created in 2014. And here is our information. Actually, yeah, that's the first row with amount 6,150. So that those records will be anonymized, as you can see here, because this invoice is coming from 2014, and all the other records which have been created in the current year, 2022, should be then pseudonymized. So we can take a look at all the other records. So as you can see, for instance, here we have some voucher, and that voucher will be pseudonymized. So you can see that query is working correctly. So once that kind of anonymization request will be approved in the same way how it was done previously, then we can easily generate anonymization values. So this is how it looks for personal anonymization. And now I was just going to show you also how it looks the first scenario, which is related actually to mass anonymization. So this is a separate product, as you can see here. So in this case, we would like to anonymize some data. And in this particular scenario, we'll use our test data, actually our test table, just in order to show you how it works. So we have a list of newly created records. And actually, if we'll take a look, we've got approximately 1 million different records. And in our scenario, we'll just anonymize only column name. So the first name and last name, all of those values, which is in column name, will be encrypted. So let me just maybe leave this card. I'll create one more, and it will be more visible. So we'll just run our data scanner parameter, which is here. And here's actually information about our table. It's GDPR test table. Of course, you can add some more tables if you need, some more fields, but for the demo purpose, we just only used this particular table. And now we'll just run our scanner parameter. So in order to search the data. And once the sensitive data scanner finishes its process, we can open sensitive data. And under sensitive data, if we'll edit, you can, of course, edit some additional fields if you need. So for instance, you can change the hashing method. So now we just used a random method, but of course, you can actually use some fixed values if you want, or some specific format. And the same goes for instance, hashing group. So here we will just use letters for encryption process. But of course, you can also use some digits. So some random digits will be will just hash our original values. And once the setup is actually finished here, we can actually run our anonymization. So let me just click on here. Let's confirm it. And now we'll see actually how it works for actually 1 million different records. So it's like a good example, just to take like a bigger volume of data, just in order to see, in order to actually check the performance and the efficiency. So let's just wait a bit. In the meantime, if you have any kind of questions, then just please let us know. You can put some questions on chat. All right, it's done. So it took like 1 minute and 20 seconds approximately. So we can open anonymizations. Sorry, not this one. Our test data. I wanted to see our test data. So now, as you can see, column name was encrypted, so we cannot see the original values, but we have some randomly created set of letters. So as you can see, all of those records have been encrypted. And here is actually our original data. As you can see, just to compare the value. Once we'll just refresh it, then you can see we will not be able to see the original values anymore. Okay, so that's all, I guess, when it comes to those scenario. In case of any questions, you can let us know. I don't know if we have any questions. Do you have any kind of questions, Sylvia, on our chat? I don't know. I didn't take a look at it.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Bartek. Okay, so we are now moving on to the final part of our session, the Q&A. Of course, I have the list of the questions that you've sent in the form, and we will answer them as well. Also those which you've asked now, right now. And I am urging you to, if you have any questions, please, you can use the chat or the Q&A box to provide this questions, any questions you have. Okay, so what question we have here? Okay, so there's a question whether we can provide a contact information for all of today's contributors. Of course, we can provide the contact information. We will go back to you with a follow-up email, which will include the recording of this session, and also we will add the contact information. So yes, of course, we'll leave them. Okay.
If I can just interrupt, yeah, of course, we are just providing some introduction session to our customers and also some live support if it's needed when it comes to creating some specific search configurations. So in case of any questions, doubts, then just please let us know.
Okay. Okay, so the next question is there any way to get an NFR license to be able to demo it over a longer time than 2 weeks? And here is a question from Johan Persson. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. And you are working for a partner. And well, when it comes to, let me of course answer this. When it comes to partners, we of course have a special way of working with partners. Those offers are of course different. So if you are interested in collaboration, please contact us. We can discuss in details what, well, how can we work together. So of course, there is a chance that this demo will be longer. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Here is one. How does it work in bulk operations like moving production databases to development environment? Bartek?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. So when it comes to, I don't know if you're asking about the personal product or mass anonymization, because here is the difference. This personal anonymization, this is actually related to production environment. When it comes to any other environment, such as some test, UAT, or any other sandbox, for this, we are just using a mass anonymization product. And when it comes, for instance, to mass anonymization, so if you are using this kind of product in a test environment, you have created some kind of setup. You can easily import, export all of these setup between the environments. So there's no need to create everything from the scratch. And this is actually very easy because we are just using standard data import, export workspace provided by Microsoft.
Okay, we hope this answered the question. If not, then please let us know, and we will try to specify it. Okay. Next question is it available on-premise deployment option? Bartek?
Adam, how is it when it comes to premise option? I guess it's available also, yeah? It's not only a cloud solution.
So for us, basically, there's no difference between premise and cloud.
Sorry, you can't hear you well.
There's, yes, it's available both in cloud and on-premise. On-premise.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Are there any more questions now from the participants? I don't see any, so I think we can move on now to the questions from the list from the list I have from the ones you've sent in the form. And of course, in the meantime, you can also ask more questions that come to your mind, and we will answer them later. Okay, so the questions that that we have is, does it allow anonymized data to be returned to its previous state? Bartek, would you answer?
Okay, so when it comes to mass anonymization, it's possible to use a reversible process, but then we need to use some specific format. So we should use the same, as far as I remember, we should use the same kind of length when it comes to those records. So it means that we cannot use some randomly created digits. So for mass anonymization, it is possible. And when it comes to personal anonymization, the previous state is not available. But as long as you will use this pseudonymization process, then for some specific period of time, you will be able to see the original values. So let's say that that you can still see it, but still, as a process, even as pseudonymization, those data will be just replaced. So that's the difference.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I see there is another question in the chat. Where can I find licensing information? We will also share this information with you in the follow-up email. So you will be able to find out the licensing options that we offer here. Okay, also please, if you're interested in the trial, you can sign up. The link is in the chat. Now let's move on to the questions that you've sent us. Let me just check which one. Oh, those we've already covered. Okay, the next question is, can you anonymize attachments such as Word files or images? Bartek, can you answer?
No, it's not possible. We cannot anonymize such a file extensions.
That's right. Thank you. There is also a question whether the tool works on other environments, on other Microsoft tools. There was a question about CRM and other other software. Well, I can answer here, but that no, it is impossible. Well, for now, our tools are only available on Microsoft AX, Dynamics AX, and in successor Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations. That's correct, right, Bartłomiej?
Yes, I confirm that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on. Okay, the next question is, can you anonymize users' data? Bartek, can you?
Yes, sure. So when it comes to our product, yes, it is possible to anonymize such information, but it's actually not recommended. It's due to the fact that it may have impact on the database. So you can have some, you may have some kind of issues in your database. So as long as you are trying to anonymize user info table, which is containing information about first, last name of the user and all other information, it's not recommended to anonymize such a data.
That's right. Thank you very much. And the last question I have from the list is, can you anonymize system logs?
Yes, it is possible. Our product is providing such a feature. So you can easily also create your search configuration. And based on this search configuration, you can anonymize even system logs. So for instance, workflow history in sales table or some info logs from system admin module even, yes.
Okay. And now we have another question in the chat. Does this anonymous working on table browser?
Table browser, what do you mean exactly? Can you specify a bit more? Or perhaps, Adam, do you know how to answer on this question?
No, not really.
Here's the information, the D365 table browser.
So basically, when we do anonymization, it changes the data in tables. So you will see, because of that, and because in table browser, you basically see the raw data which is in the database. Once the anonymization is finished, you will see changed data in table browser as well as on the forms.
Okay, I'm sorry if I will mispronounce your name, Osman, but please let us know whether it answers your questions, or your question, if this is what you were asking about. Okay, great, it did.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So, are there any more questions? I already covered all from the list from the form, so just I'm looking at this Q&A form. I don't see any. Also, there is nothing new in the chat. So, well, okay. So, if there are no more questions, I think we can slowly close our session. I hope that you have found some value in today's session. I know that this day is quite difficult, but thank you for your attendance. Please remember that you can sign up for the free trial. The link to the sign up form is in the chat. Also, feel free to contact us if you have any further questions, if they come to your mind later on. And so I think that's it for today. Thank you very much for your attention, and hopefully see you soon.
Thank you as well for attending this meeting.